Hey, so I want to give a huge shout out to Anthony Bushell, one of my subscribers who watched my last video, and on the comment of my car's mirrors, he actually recommended that I spray my mirrors with a can spray. And when I read his comment, I actually didn't think that I could actually pull something like that off. And I did a little bit of research and I found that Rust-Oleum paint is actually a very good paint for DIY, especially on automotive products. So Anthony, thank you very much for that idea. I am going to spray my car's mirrors with Rust-Oleum paint and let's see how it turns out. If you guys have watched my previous videos, you will have seen that I did fit carbon fiber mirror covers to my car. I broke the clip on the driver's side one because it just wouldn't fit. The mirror cover kept wanting to fall off, especially if I was driving on the freeway. So I decided that wasn't going to work and I had to replace them. In addition to that, I had terrible wind noise from that mirror cover, especially on the driver's side. So it really wasn't pleasant to have those mirror covers on the car. I tried wrapping them, but it took about 6 attempts for me to realize that I just couldn't do it. I'm going to show you guys how I do this, and then I'm going to show you guys the final results. Here is one of the carbon fiber mirror covers that I had fitted on the passenger side, and this is the one that was on the driver's side. So what I did is I actually bought some of this Rust-Oleum gloss black paint, and it's good for wood, metal and plastic. I did a test on the driver's side one since I'm going to end up throwing these covers away because I really can't use them anymore. It doesn't fit in the car at all. So I sprayed this one. So I just wanted to test the paint and I was very, very happy with the performance of the paint because there you can see how glossy it is. But if you look at this area here, I bought Rust-Oleum's gloss clear coat and that made it a little more matte and it created these, I don't know if you can see this, but like a hexagonal kind of pattern, a very rough surface, which I didn't like. And I'm glad I did this test because otherwise I would have really messed this entire job up. So all I'm going to be doing is covering the mirror covers in this paint and this paint alone. I'm not going to seal it. I'm not going to put any gloss sealant over it because this is designed to be glossy from scratch, and you'll see when I actually get it onto the actual mirror covers. I'm going to sand these mirror covers. I've just put them up here for now and I'm standing them on these pots, but I'm going to sand them down because the paint actually adheres to plastic, not to other paint. So I have to get these rough in order to create a nice adhesion surface for the paint to stick. And that means I'm going to have to do this groove over here as well because I have to paint that black, and we'll see what this turns out like. So I've just got a bucket of water here and all I'm going to do is dip the mirror into the water and start sanding it. I'm going to wet sand it. Now the reason I'm wet sanding it is because I don't want any dust around here. I have cleaned the surface where I'm going to be painting. We have to put 2 coats of paint on each cover according to Rust-Oleum. So that is what I'm going to do. And you're going to see when I apply the first coat, it's not going to be a dusting, it's going to be a full-on coat of paint. And the reason for that is because it is a gloss paint, one has to get it all on there in one go. You can't take your time, you just got to get it on there, because if you let any of the paint dry, While you are doing this, now see there's a bit of shininess here. I'm going to have to take care of that. If you let the paint dry, you're going to have a line in the glass. So you have to cover the entire mirror one time with an entire coat and make sure you do it properly, and then come back and do another coat entirely and properly as well. You can see I've taken some paint off here and there. There are some nicks. There's a nick over there from a stone chip, and this is really what you need to get it down to in order to paint it. So I'm going to leave them now for just to make sure they are 100% dry. Before, you can see there's another stone chip over there, and there was one over there. There was some over here on the inner side. So I've positioned them in such a way that when I'm spray painting, I don't actually have to move them, and I can move around the mirror quite easily, because I want to make sure that these corners here are really done nicely. You know, this section up here, that corner over there. So I've been shaking up the can, and I think we're ready to get going. Now, one of these cans is enough to do 2 mirrors, 2 coats, but I do have 2 cans just in case. So I've just got to get in here. Now I'm going to tackle the other one. Now, you might be tempted to carry on spraying. When you've covered the mirrors, just leave them alone and let it dry. You've got to let it dry for about 30 minutes before you can come and do the second coat. So I'm just hoping in the meantime that no dust gets on them. So this is after the first coat. I just want to show you guys how nicely they are shining. They really, really look good. I'm very, very happy with these results. You can even see the reflection of the camera and me standing there. So very, very happy with this. Now, shortly after you've actually applied it, it starts to go glossier and glossier and glossier as the paint settles onto the surface. So if you see it is a bit dull after applying it, don't panic. Just leave it and stop spraying and wait for it to gloss up. As you can see, the mirror is glossed up nicely now, and I'm just going to get the camera off the tripod. We have a nice mirror finish, and I've done the other one as well on the passenger side. So we've got a really, really nice shine going there. And all I have to do now is leave it to cure, and I'm going to leave it here in the garage for probably the rest of the day, and then tomorrow I'm going to move it to inside the house so I can put it somewhere in the sun and let it cure even further, and then the day after that I'm going to put them on the car. But you guys are now going to see footage of what it looks like on my car, and it's going to be 3 days later.